B-1s have arrived from an undisclosed distant location to provide additional bomber support if necessary. A U-2 begins its long climb to the edge of space, sending intelligence to the AWACS surveillance aircraft.
18,000 heavy, 4 contacts. Okay. Crvena 3's going to reset.
On board the AWACS is Air Boss Major Rob Novotny. He will monitor the air war about to take place. AWACS crews use inputs from space systems and radar to understand the battle situation. Each aircraft broadcasts real-time telemetry that appears as three-dimensional imagery on board the AWACS.
In this war, most of the aircraft are good guys, known as the Blue Force. The bad guys are the Red Force, or the aggressors. The bad guys fly 12 highly maneuverable F-16s. They are among the finest pilots in the United States Air Force.
Sniper 1 is ready.
Tractor is the Red Force's mission commander. For most of the pilots, red flag is their first taste of an air battle on a massive scale. There is no other way to prepare air crews for the real thing in all its precision, complexity, and finally, chaos.
Yes, sir. Great, and Viper's checked in as well, correct?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the strike package here. What are you showing?
We've got Viper Flight of 2 established in the north.
Right.
Eagle Flight established in the south.
The green guys right there, are those the Canadians?
Again, we got Canadians or the orange guys
I thought
up to the north.
I thought the British were the orange guys and the green guys were the Canadians. Is that we had checked?
Negative. British are green, Canadians are orange.
Okay, you're saying.
"5 miles out, both sides begin firing heat-seeking missiles.
Sniper flight. Deploying a tactical formation. Let's give them all they can handle.
Flares are used to distract the inbound missiles from enemy aircraft.
Choco Flight, commit. Group bullseye 3302.
Lights on Choco, copies.
As planes are hit and declared killed, they turn white on the Naxos screen. The good guys then must disengage and return to base. The aggressors get to regenerate and return to the fight. Once the battle begins, the air boss and his team struggle to keep 128 aircraft from 6 countries from smashing into each other.
You're seeing here Viper flights northbound at 6,000. You need to get on the phone right now. Get Viper and Choco moving. They're going to hit.
2 miles in closing. Using simulated machine guns, a classic dogfight ensues.
Choco Manton, threat 360, 12, 10,000.
Sniper 1's Tally 2 ship, off my nose.
Choco 2 threat, you're 6, 3 miles. Hostile.
Sniper 1, targeted there. I'm moving in for guns.
Chaco 2's engaged defensive. Chaco 2 press.
I've got shots in the air. Chaco 2-1, keep the turn going. Matt, 6 o'clock. Jake. Sniper 1, guns, guns, guns. Showtime, copy kill.
Yeah!
Chaco 2-1, showtime, you're dead.
Red flag is not a contest or a competition. There are no winners or losers. It is about training and saving lives.
I was killed on my first mission at Red Flag. I was mad, and I had a long, lonely flight back to base to think about it.
My name.
The commanders walk a very fine line. In order to save lives in real combat, they are forced to take very real risks in training. They are pushing the limits in a controlled environment.
However, what I want to do is not talk about the ingress routes. I want to talk about instead a near mid-air collision that we had up here in the EC West area. Chaco 1 flight, you briefed us earlier today that you were going to maintain your route unless you deviated up here to the north. Nobody knew about it because you failed to communicate your change in flight path. As a result of that, 8 people nearly lost their lives today at Red Flag. Don't let it happen again. The range restrictions for today's sortie remain unchanged. EC East West, the 70 series ranges, you're cleared supersonic down.
My fears of screwing up single-handedly were largely unfounded. We all made mistakes, and we knew we had to fix them if we wanted to get through the next 2 weeks.
Regardless of its intentional or unintentional.
In modern warfare, these pilots will have the most to fear from the ground below. Surface-to-air missiles, fired from every conceivable platform, have proliferated by the millions worldwide.
This radar. Here we have the SA-13, and this radar is the snapshot radar. Next to, on the other side, we have
They call it the Threat Center. Equipped entirely with enemy weapons, it is based on the same principle used in science museums. If visitors can get their hands on the exhibits, it's a more effective learning experience.
You have one that does the driving, you have a second one up at the top that operates a 90mm gun.
Pilots call it the petting zoo. Some guys got a big kick out of it and would go back and play around again and again. But I didn't see much value in it, at least at the time.
It has a vertical range of 49,000 feet and a horizontal range of about 69,000 feet. It fires 15 rounds per minute, each round weighing about 30.
I don't think we appreciated the efforts of the intelligence people as much as we should have. It's not until much later when the missiles start flying around your ears and you think, I should have listened a little more when they were talking about this stuff.
Well, it's cannons. Now you have the gunner sitting in the front and the pilot behind him. The gunner is responsible for all the weapons. The only weapon that the pilot can control is the front gun.
At 5 a.m. each day, they search for perhaps a single pebble blown overnight onto the runway by the desert wind. One tiny pebble that otherwise might get sucked into an aircraft's engine. It's quite possible for a crew to lose both their aircraft and their lives before even leaving the ground.
Chaco flight in from the south. Low, searching.